Well, hello all. So, a little rainy outside, a little windy, some late spring showers. Once again, California needs it. So we have a real problem here in the U.S. It's called whatever makes money is cool, regardless of the outcome or what happens to others. Let's go over the board. I'll show you what I mean about the U.S.'s constant greed fest and want for more and more money at any cost. So one of the very first plastic manufacturing plants is being built right along the Ohio River. This is where they used to smelt tin, so they are using old manufacturing locations. The problem here isn't the location, it's what they're manufacturing. Resin plastic particles that then can be used in all kinds of things like plastic bags and car parts and throwaway one-use items. We need to be getting away from fossil fuel manufacturing of all this stuff, especially plastic. Plastic has been destroying our oceans and waterways for years now, giving more plastic to the environment. But Royal Dutch Shell isn't the only one that's interested in starting the plans or manufacturing of plants along this 300-mile stretch of area that they plan on doing this. There are 2 Asian companies that are now planning on spending $6 billion of investment in the same area doing the same thing. They turn wet gas into plastic particles. Apparently this is part of natural gas. I'm not sure. And they then manufacture it into plastic. So the pink barrio is calling for a backlash on plastic. No to plastic bags of any kind. No to one-use plastic. And try to buy items that are not plastic. So where are these people getting all this money from? Apparently it's coming in from the Department of Energy with loan guarantees. See, this is all about making money at any cost. We know that the planet is suffocating with plastic. We should be ramping down plastic production and only use it when absolutely necessary, maybe in the medical industry or manufacturing something, but not where it's out in the environment. Plastic is an environmental nightmare, and each and every citizen of the world should be doing what they can to avoid using it. I know it's very difficult to avoid using it. I'm looking for some new shirts. It's almost impossible to find all cotton shirts. It just isn't being done anymore. It's cheaper to do it in plastic, rayon and other types of plastic. So, watch what you're buying and make sure it doesn't have anything to do with plastic. And let's get rid of these plastic manufacturing. So one of the reasons we want to get rid of plastic is because of what it's doing to biodiversity. And what the United Nations just gave us another food warning, that we're not going to have enough food if we don't start taking care of business. Let's go over to the board and see what the report said. So the UN says that the threat to food is because of the lack of biodiversity that's happening. In other words, we're losing the plants and animals and microorganisms that are needed for food production. The bedrock microorganisms are now in decline. That means that our food production is now in decline. The UN says that the future of food systems are under severe threat. Not just threat or decline, but severe threat. Insects are in decline, which are pollinators. Bees especially and other pollinators are all in decline. But not only that, but worms, mangroves, which are around the swamps on the ocean near Florida and other places around the world, are in severe threat. Seagrasses and fungi. All these are now under severe threat and causing a lot of hardship for the food. There are over 6,000 plants that we can eat, but we only seem to cultivate about 9. That's 66% of our food is now reliant on only 9 plant species. So what's causing the decline? Land and water management. Pollution. Pollution. Over-harvesting. Now, I've never heard of that, but that must mean overuse of land, and the land becomes degraded, and then they just move on. And of course, people are overpopulated. And also, 40% of our forests have been lost between 2010 to present. What can we do about it? There's plenty we can do about it. This does have to be a bottom-up fix. The top is mired in endless scandals and money laundering and warring with each other. It has to come from the bottom up. The people that purchase both the land have something to do with the ocean or the rivers or the lakes. All of us can stop consuming plastic. Don't buy it whenever possible. Most of the civilians are buying plastic at cheap chain stores, which all this plastic is being shipped over to another country, manufactured into something cheap and tawdry that ends up in the landfills within a week or two of buying it, because it's just not worth taking it back. And the one-use plastic all over the land. So if you do own land, you should be planting native species on the land, taking down fences and making it so that the land is accessible by the biodiversity. Don't use pesticides or herbicides. If you're going to fertilize, use natural fertilizers, poop, that sort of thing, from your own farm animals. If you're going to a restaurant, stop eating things like frog legs and exotic foods. Use your head when you're eating and purchasing food. Where's the food coming from? Is it locally grown? Is it full of pesticides and herbicides? See, if we don't support those things, they'll just go out of business, and we won't have to worry about making a law that says they can't use it or can't sell it. Why don't people get smart enough and just not use one-use plastic? Look at what it's doing and the threat that's coming because of it. But the almighty dollar, man, it's worth anything, even wiping out your own civilization, as long as you are wealthy when you die. That seems to be all that counts. I definitely appreciate all your comments on the last videos, and your ups and your downs, and the new subscribers especially. We need 1,000 to put on a live stream. So, until next time, try not to use plastic or purchase it, and especially don't throw it on the land or out your window.